So good day everyone. Today we'll be looking at the hazardous material management plan. And Miss Ashley from the environment unit, the environmental analyst to be exact. So when you hear about hazardous material, what comes to mind? So hazardous substance is any substance or material that can pose a risk to you or to the environment. You have a number of traits that you can use to identify more quickly if a substance is hazardous or non-hazardous. So is a substance toxic or poisonous? Whereas if you inhale it, you ingest it, if it gets on your skin, it can poison you. Is it corrosive? Whereas it has acidic or alkaline traits. Again, if it gets on your skin, it can damage your skin or it can corrode metal. Is it harmful? Is it an irritant? There are other traits also that can help you to understand if a substance is considered to be hazardous. Is it carcinogenic? Meaning it is a cancer-causing agent. These are all the traits that help us understand what are categorized as hazardous material. But before we even get into that, why are we doing these training sessions? So the OSHA Act, or the Occupational Health and Safety Act, which is specific to Jamaica, it outlines that the employers have a right to know. They have a right to know what the hazards are in the workplace, so the employer has to ensure that the employees know what the hazards are in the workplace, and that it is not just communicated, but workers understand how they can protect themselves in the workplace. So how do workers protect themselves? You have labeling, which under the global harmonized system, there are specific labels or pictograms that are associated with different types of hazard. So you will see them on containers, and bear in mind, it is a non-conformance for you to have a container in your workspace that is not labeled. So if you have a substance, you should see the label on it. If you don't have the label on it and you just have the substance, then it's a non-conformance, because you need to know what are the different substances that you're working around. Also, we have been placing SDS sheets in the workspaces. So where we store hazardous substance, you should be able to see outside of that area. Currently at the engineering workshop, where hazardous liquids are stored in the oil house, outside of the workshop, you have a folder containing SDS sheets. SDS stands for Safety Data Sheets. And these basically help workers to understand what the name of the substance is. It gives you a synopsis of what the substance is that you're working with. How do you handle these substances? How do you store these substances? How do you protect yourself against any risks that might be associated with these substances? So the first section, and mind you, all safety data sheets, they are standardized. So they all have 16 sections. So in SDS sheet that you take up, if you go to section 1, you will see the identification to know what the name of the substance is. If you go to section 5, you'll see the firefighting measures that you need to take for the extinguishing of a fire that is associated with that substance. Because you cannot just add water to every fire that you see. Next thing, if you go to section 8, there you will see the PPE or the control measures that you need to basically administer. So if you're based on the type of risk or the type of substance, you might need to put on a different type of personal protective equipment. So we're gonna look now at IMDG containers or IMDG substances. So IMDG simply stands for International Maritime Dangerous Goods. And these are specific to the transportation of hazardous substances by sea. So there are different guidelines that are associated with that. These are all the stickers that are associated with the different IMDG substances. Some of these you might see in your workspaces, some you might see at your home. There are 9 different classes that IMDG: explosive, class 2 gases, class 3 flammable liquid, class 4 flammable solids, class 5 oxidizers and organic peroxides, class 6 toxic and infectious substances, class 7 radioactive material, and class 7 is the only class that we don't have that detail. Class 8 corrosive substances and class 9 miscellaneous or dangerous substances. So how do you know if a container really is an IMDG container? I mentioned before the stickers. So you see the sticker on the outside of the container, and you also see a 4-digit UN number. Each 4-digit UN number is unique for the look on the container. And if you want 226, you can easily Google that, or you can use the emergency response guidebook to know what the substance is and how you would react in the event of an emergency. So we have different control measures that we would implement based on the type of hazard that you're working with. The most effective one would be the elimination, but a lot of times you're unable to eliminate the hazard, so you might need to administer a different type of control measure. The least effective would be your PPE. So we have an emergency response team. In the event of an emergency, they are able to respond using the emergency response guidebook. If you observe any spills in your workspace, if you smell anything out of the ordinary, you see anything out of the ordinary, you report it to the environment and the safety team. And you can do so by calling the number on the screen. It's 876-832-4898. If you have any questions or you need further clarification for any of the points that I mentioned and discussed in this presentation, you can call me at 453-4227. Thank you.